Good morning. Good morning to everyone who is tuned in. Welcome to another edition of Policing with You. I'm your host for today, Inspector Marvin Thompson, and with me in studio I have my guest, Pastor Clive Sanders. I'll give him the opportunity to tell you in what capacity he is here today.
Good morning. Good morning. It's good to be here on Policing with You. As Inspector said, I'm Pastor Clive Sanders, and I'm here as the Scout Coordinator in St. Kitts.
So that should tell you something in terms of what we might be talking about today. And today we're going to be talking about, I don't want to say new scout, because new scout sounds like it's something new, and I'm an old scout. So I would lead into letting you tell us something about the scout program that is going on right now.
Well, scouting in general was founded back in 1907 by Robert Baden-Powell. He was a British Army officer who held the first experimental scout camp for 20 boys in Brownsea Island in the United Kingdom. And from there, scouting kicked off and started to spread rapidly throughout the world. So scouting is a worldwide organization. When it started first, it was known as Boy Scouts, but as you know, as it continues to get bigger, then girls wanted to be a part of it, so they had to change it from Boy Scout to Scouting in general. So, of course, if you're a boy or you're a girl, you're allowed to be a part of Scouting. And so in St. Kitts, we started years ago, and it went a little dormant, a couple of years, but we still had a few groups trying their best. And so now it's escalating into something great, into something big. And we now have scouting or Cub Scouting in all primary schools. That's government schools here in St. Kitts. So it's an organization that is set up to help our young people to propel them and steer them in the right direction. That's what scouting is all about.
Okay. Well, I joined Scouts when I was, I think, primary school, Newton Primary School,
Yes.
10 years. Cub Scout. Mary Heidegger Richards was my fourth grade teacher. She was also my Cub Scout leader.
Mary Richards, yes.
And stayed in the Scouts until I became a police. And I only didn't continue because work didn't allow me to be consistent.
Yes.
At the time, I was the Scout leader. And you remember that we used to coordinate
do a lot of
with
work
Sandy
together.
Point and Newton Ground, so we would bond and continue the program. I missed it when I joined the so I did not know that there was a program for Scouts going on now. I went to PTA last week or week before, and Crispin,
In Newton Ground?
in Sandy Point High School,
okay.
and it's Crispin
Yes.
was there. He started to talk about the Scout program. I said, well, I didn't know, which is a good thing. So I think that will give an opportunity to let others know, because there might be persons like me who didn't know or don't know that the scouting is something that is blossoming again in St. Kitts, and I think it's a good thing, especially given the environment and the young people, and especially some of the things that we see our young boys doing. That scout is something that could assist in what we want to see in our young people. So tell us in terms of the program. We, back then with the Scouts, when the teachers how to tie knots, we did a little bit of drills. We did the camping, the night outs, the fishing, some outdoor activities. How is it alike or different?
No, it's very much the same. Scouting never changed. But what happened, maybe about 2 years ago, we decided we start looking at the boys that were part of scouting growing up, over the years, and we start looking at them, where they're at right now. And what we discovered is that most of the young men that went through the scouting, they're doing great in society today. That is the reason why we decided, look, we think that going forward, this is something that we want to push. We want to push scouting, get a lot of our young people involved in it. And so we pushed out. And one of the things we did, we had a conversation with our Prime Minister, and we said, look, this is something that we want to do. This is something that, and also with the Deputy Prime Minister, we want you to help us to get this into our schools, right? And so they gave us that assistance, and we pushed out, and we started off the process. We went to the PTAs, we got our parents involved, and then we went to the schools and we talked to our children. We spoke to our teachers as well, and we get them to understand that this is something that we really want to push in St. Kitts. Well, right now, Nevis is pushing for it as well. They want the same thing happening in Nevis, so we're getting ready to really push out the program over there. But it's still very much the same. We do a lot of camping. We do nothing, as you say. We go fishing. We go to hiking. We teach the boys how to do so many other things: sewing, ironing, everything you could think about that can help to develop a boy. Yes. It's a part of the scouting program.
Some life skills, some socialization.
Of course. Yes. Okay. So it's quite a bit that we do within the program itself. Now, the reason why you went to the PTA at SEMS the other day, and Crispin was there, because in St. Kitts we only have one high school actually have a strong scouting program, and that is the Virtues High School, because I worked there for 20 years, so I pushed that. It's a massive group there in the school, and a group that got the support of the entire management and staff of the Virtues High School, to the point that we were able to send boys to worldwide jamborees. We were able to, almost every summer we were on a plane going somewhere in the Caribbean camping. And so a lot of the boys would have passed through that program, and it's still going strong, even though I'm not there still. And so we decided, look, we want to have scouting in every high school in St. Kitts. And so we are now doing the groundwork towards it. That is why Crispin were actually there talking to the parents. So we have some not just boys, but boys and girls showing interest in joining the program there at SEMS, and for the other high schools as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I really want to see our teenagers especially fully involved in a program like this.
So what's your target groups under the high school? So primary school. When I was there, in the old days, not so old days, it was you have to be at 10 years old.
Yeah, you have the Cub Scouts, but you have Beaver. Beaver is basically geared towards like a preschool age, but we haven't really started that part yet. Then you have the Cub Scout, which is the primary school age, up until you go to high school, which is 12 years old, and then from when you hit 12 in the high school, and you transition into Scouts. Right, and then after that you have something called the Adventure Scouts, where when you hit 16, you're pushing to the Adventure Scouts, and then those are the people now that we use to actually go out now and help to build the organization, to start groups. And so these are the people now. So who we are using now to really manage the program is actually what we used to call Adventure Scouts. They're the ones going into the high schools and the primary schools and pushing the program right now.
So that tells me that there's a kind of leadership component.
Yes.
In terms of developing probably some mentorship. Well, I know from the groundwork and what we used to do back then that there is a level of mentorship.
Yes.
That still goes on.
Of course, that's a very big part of the program. Mentoring the scouts or the Cub Scouts, mentoring them. It helps basically to steer them in the right direction. And that's something. And what we try to do too is to, bring back a lot of our past scouts. So maybe somebody will contact you later and say, they might not be able to commit and say, I'm going to come every week and do this, but they might be able to conduct a session, maybe something that they used to love when they were a part of scouting as well. And there's a saying that says, once a scout, always a scout. So, and we try to get them to come in to do different things with the scouts and the Cub Scouts. Yeah.
But I was happy to hear that there was something. Saju and Gala.
Yes.
Remember that when we were in Newton Ground after Miss Richards Heiliger and those left, then McMaster, Charles
McMaster. He's still around. He's in the home there in the Grange.
You need to go look for him.
Yes.
And then it was like Sandy Point Newton Ground Newtown. So
And
there's
you
some
know,
persons from
you had Miss Dolphin, you had the
Yes,
St. George's as
Dolphin
well,
was the
who is
Anglican
actually
Church.
commissioner right now.
the Anglican Church.
Yeah, St.
group
George's.
was there. So I learned about those persons through Scout.
Through
McMaster
Scouting,
was the
yes.
one who continued the
Yes.
program for a while, and those are the things that I see were some of the benefits with the socialization from groups from the different areas.
You get to know a lot of
Different
people, because
areas.
that's where I met the Deputy Prime Minister Jeffrey. He was a
Yes,
part
he
of.
was. I remember he was part of
St.
Scouts.
George's.
Yes.
He's actually the Deputy Commissioner of Scouting right now in St. Kitts. I met so many people. Cherise Dolphin Gums, who works with the governor. All these people came to the. I mean, it's so amazing the amount of people that actually came to the program. People who are big in society, have good jobs now, and it speaks to the importance of being a part of clubs like this.
I think it's something that we, the general public and other organizations, should put some effort behind.
Yes.
And that we should collaborate to see how best we can merge our different resources, whether it's human or otherwise, to make the program the best that it can be.
Yes. Right now, Inspector, the reason why the program is so successful, because we actually have people that is their job. That's how they get paid, by going into the schools and running these programs. The government were able to hire a number of young men and ladies too, because we have on the STEP program. So their responsibility is to, making sure that the groups continue to be successful. So they go into the schools. I was at Newton Grong on Monday. I went to assess the Cub Scout leaders over there, and I was very impressed, because when that group started, it started with maybe about 5 children. And when I got there, we had a good amount of children there, and I was like, wow. And Newton Grong always had a strong group back in the days, always. And I was happy to see the young guys really pushing out and getting, boys and girls to be a part of that.
But when you say the Newton Grong group?
Newton Grong, I have the schedule here actually. Well, Mondays. I was there on Monday, yes. So we have the schedule. Monday is Newton Grong Primary School, and Joshua Obadiah Primary School, Dean Glassford. And Tuesday is Edgar T. Morris, Tucker Clark, Sandy Point Primary. And Wednesday is Dr. Wim Connor Primary, St. Paul's Primary, Sadler's Primary. And Thursdays is Violet Petty Primary School, Holiday Smith Primary School. That's down at the Gardens there.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's Holiday Smith. Bronte Welch Primary School on Thursdays, Terry Williams on Thursdays, and on Fridays we have Kayam Primary School, Beach Allen Primary School, Dateby Primary School, on Fridays, and of course the Scouts meet in virtuals on Thursday afternoon. So it's like it's an after school program. So right after school, the leaders will go in just before school finish. They should be there by 2:15, and as soon as school finish, they gather the guys and they do what they have to do.
But how does the numbers look? Sometimes
it's huge. Just there in November we had a banquet. We had a banquet for the different groups, the boys, and we had over 400 young people, and all did not come. So it's huge. Every school, every primary school, as I say, public schools have Scouts in it. So it's going to be, right now we're working on finishing up the uniforms, and when we finish, we're going to do a massive march to the streets of Bastia, so that people can see Scouting is fully alive in St. Kitts.
And the uniform going to be similar to what we used to wear?
Yes, it's still the khaki. Yeah. The Scouts wear khaki, full khaki. The Cub Scout wear khaki and the green top. Yeah. Remember the green top for the Cub Scout? The Adventure Scout wear the khaki shirt and the green pant. Yes, so very. Each school gonna have a different color scarf as usual. Scarf. That's what you identify yourself with. Yes. And then we're gonna have what we actually planning right now is the investiture ceremony across the island to make them a full Cub Scout or Scouts.
Okay. We're still doing badges?
Of course, that is a major part of the Scout. You don't just come to Scouts and somebody give you a badge. It's what you call it proficiency badge. So we teach you different things and then we put you to do the work. So for example, if you're doing cooking, we will do the first session with you on the outdoor, and then you will be tested. And if you pass that test, then you could get your cooking badges, like over a period of sessions with it, and then you put that on your thing. And that's something that the Scouts or the Cub Scout will really fight for, because everybody want the uniform to look good with all of these proficiency badges. Yes. So everybody want the fishing badge, the cooking badge. Yes, badges is a great part of it.
Like I said, I'm not officially in the program, but I'm excited that the program has been started and that it's going so well. I think it's a good thing that we take a break, and when we come back, we'll allow persons, if they're interested, to call in and ask the question. Inquire.
CNC Trading Limited Industrial Site is seeking drivers. You must be over 21, have a valid standard driver's license, and driving for at least 3 to 5 years. You must apply in person. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call us at 465-4081 or 665-9550.
Okay, welcome back to Policing with You. I'm your host for today. For those of you who are just joining, Inspector Marvin Thompson, and with me in studio as my guest, I have Pastor Clive Sanders, the Scout Coordinator for the Scout program, and that's what we're talking about.
Now, before you continue, Inspector Thompson, forgive me, let me interject you real quick, because I know you're not familiar with the phone numbers. The number to call is 465-1903. And the other option is 662-8674. Let me repeat that again for you. 465-1903 and 662-8674. Your opinions, your comments are welcome.
Yeah, I remember the PTA Crispin mentioned the camp. How can the parents assist in that regard? How can the parent assist with the program?
Well, of course, we always welcome, Inspector, we always welcome our parents to be involved, Normally when you run in a camp, and let me tell you something, camps normally be big. I mean, there's a saying that says, camping is a joyous part of a scout life, right? If you're a true scout, then you love the camp. Not just camping indoors, but also outdoors. And back in your time, I know you had a lot of, because Nyungong used to live up in the mountain at one time, right? That. The scout group over there. So we when we have a camp, of course, we need help in all different areas. So if you're a parent and you could cook and you have the time to help us in the kitchen, or even to come in and do a little skill with the boys, teach them how to iron, how to sew. Little skills, little things that they can learn. We always welcome our parents to be a part of the program. It can only make it better.
Definitely.
Yes.
And I think that when the parents are involved with the activity with the children, that goes a long way in terms of seeing the interest from the parents' standpoint and the bonding time.
Well, the Boy Scout always have a motto, and the motto of the Boy Scout is be prepared. Okay, so you remember that. You don't ever forget that. Yes, that's the motto. The mission statement of the Boy Scout. The mission of the Boy Scout is to prepare boys to make ethical choices over their lifetime by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath. And the Scout Oath is a Scout Oath. Our promise is a pledge to help our community, our world, and ourselves. Okay, and then you would have remembered also that the.
Let me interrupt you. Sorry, we have 2 calls.
Yes.
We take the call.
I'm not hearing you.
We lost those calls, but you can always call back. 465-1903, 662-8678. Can you hear Pastor Saunders?
Just it's very low, but I can.
It's very low?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm okay. So no, better now.
Okay.
Okay, nice.
Good morning. Sorry.
Good morning.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Good morning,
Caller.
Pastor
Good morning.
Sanders again. Thank you to teach the children them that they keep up the road and they hear what the mother and the father say, that you could teach them in this school thing. And good program, officer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have the scope promise. Remember the scope promise? and I promise that I will do my best to my duty to God and to my country to help other people at all times and to keep the scout law. Yes. You see, the inspector still. We have another caller. Okay. Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning, caller. Welcome.
Morning. Yeah, morning. Hey, Clive, this is Sylvester. You and Marvin.
Well, yeah, you're one of the persons
you,
I met.
Marvin, and GQ come up on me.
Oh, yes. That's the drummer? That's the drummer, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sylvester.
So I you all come up on me in Newton Scout,
Yes.
you, Marvin, and GQ. But I'm glad to know that this Scout back up again. I've been telling Clive when he ready just call me because
Yes.
I'm still interested of scouting it.
Well, I'm gonna call you soon. Marvin. We just wrote a proposal to get some drums. We're looking at maybe getting like 100 drums, and so I know you used to be. We're gonna be one of the biggest drum corps in St. Kitts and Nevis.
I will be in charge of it.
Yes, I know that. So we're gonna need your help.
Everybody.
Yes, we're gonna need your help in that area because I can't pong drum, but I know you can.
Yeah, I will be there for that. You know that.
I know you love that, So of course we want you to come back and help us especially in that area.
Yeah, for the last group I was around is Strong me and Miss Dolphin, but then we went on the Jane after. Yeah, but I will be back in this scope whenever.
But as I said, that we have groups in Bastille, so maybe you could contact me and I'll give you the information. So when you could drop in and help them, because the guys who are running the group, they're pretty young. They've been scouting for years, but they're young, and it's nice when we could have a veteran like you around to kind of help to steer them in the right direction.
All right, I will do that. All right,
Thank you so much. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
And then, Inspector, then you have the scout laws, and this is what basically guide us. And we have a number of them. A scout is trustworthy. A scout tells the truth. He's honest and keeps his promises. People can depend on him. Secondly, a scout is loyal. A scout is true to his family, friends, scout leader, and school and nation. The third one, a scout is helpful. So we teach our young people how to be helpful. A scout cares about other people. And right now the direction our young people go in, they behave like they really don't care sometimes. So in scouting, we teach them, we tell them, look, we have to not just care for yourself, but care for others as well. He or she is willing to volunteer. You hear that word? When you talk about volunteerism and that kind of stuff to young people, to volunteer is like, they don't understand that because they feel like everything is about pay, what can I get? But it's always good when you can volunteer. So a scout volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward. Number 4, a scout is friendly. A scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to other scouts, or a sister to other scouts. He or she offers friendship to people of all races and nations and respects them, even if their beliefs and customs are different from his own. Number 5, a scout is courteous. A scout is polite to everyone, regardless of their age or position. He or she knows that using good manners makes it easier for people to get along. Even you talk about good manners, sometimes I get the opportunity to drive on the buses, and I'm saying that we really need things like scouting. You see how young people, they come into the buses and they don't even say good morning, don't say good afternoon, they just take the seat, and something is definitely wrong, something is lacking. So we teach our scouts in that way. As number 6, a scout is kind. A scout knows there is strength in being gentle. He treats others as he wants to be treated without good reasons. He does not harm or kill any living thing. Number 7, a scout is obedient. Oh my God, you're talking about young people again. We need to help them and get them to understand the importance of being obedient. A scout follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He obeys the laws of his community and country. If he or she thinks these rules or laws are unfair, he or she tries to have them change in an orderly manner rather than disobeying. Number 8, a scout is cheerful. A scout looks for the bright side of life. He or she cheerfully does tasks that come his or her way. He or she tries to make others happy. And number 9, a scout is thrifty. A scout works to pay his own way and to help others. He or she saves for the future, and they protects and conserve natural resources, and they carefully use their time properly as well. We have 3 more. As number 10, a scout is brave, and you know you got to be brave, because sometimes you go up in the mountain, you have to climb, you have to do certain things, and you just have to be brave. A scout can face danger, although he's afraid. He or she has the courage to stand for what they think is right, even if others laugh at him or her or threaten them. Number 11, a scout is clean. So we teach them to be clean. Like I remember one time we had a camp, and a parent came down there. You know, normally when you go to camping, so you have to keep your bed clean, because you can get booked and you can get punished, like, you know, having to wash a lot of dishes, or, you know, going in line to do certain alligator crawl or push-ups. Scouts don't want that. So when she came, she said, well, I never see my son bedroom look so yet. He bed never make up yet. So she was surprised. I said, well, on camp he got to do it, because he don't want to be punished. So a scout is clean. A scout keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He chooses the company of those who live by high standards. Helps keep his or her home and community clean as well. So we push that a lot in scouting. And number 12, a scout is reverent. A scout is reverent towards God. He or she is faithful in their religious duties and respect the beliefs of others. So these are what we call the scout laws. These are the things that help us are things that we have to live by when we call ourselves a scout or Cub Scouts or Adventure Scout. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember a lot of those.
Yeah, we push these. Almost every meeting we push these.
I remember a lot of those, and I remember when I was in college, walking down Irish Town, Beirut, and a gentleman, I don't know who he was, he called me officer. I had no plans of joining the police force back then.
I guess he said that in you.
I was in Scout, and I had no plans to join the police force. But because of the scouting and how the organization was and the principles,
yes,
you just behaved a certain way.
A certain way, yeah.
So you just reflected a certain type of demeanor. So joining police wasn't anything new. I tell people all the time that for Independence Parade and things like that,
you were always
the only thing I do was change the uniform.
Yes, and maybe carry a gun.
Yes, from Scouts, police. So Independence Parade and the standing up and the discipline required for that wasn't anything difficult. I learned a lot of those things as a scout, from Cub Scout coming up into. So it was almost a natural transition from there to here. I mean, and those principles are what we're required to do.
Yes.
As officers, as citizens in general, but in terms of the high standard expected in the police. I dare say if many of us had the opportunity to come to Scouts,
yes,
we would make better police officers.
Yes.
I say that without fear of, recrimination.
Yeah. Well, one of the things too I really want to say, on this program today, we really need to salute those people who would have pushed Scouting over the years. Like you spoke about Mary Richards, who used to be your Cub Scout leader. My Cub Scout leader was Carlis Heiliger. Yes, he's called a Skeeter. Yes, Skeeter was in the Scouts. Her husband was a big part of the Scout. We have to salute people like Charles McMaster. Yeah, Charles was a champion. And I think that, I was telling the Scouts the other day that we need to go and see him. I need to take them there so they could get to see who this Charles McMaster is. You had people like Howard Warner. Howard from Sandy Point. Howard was a big Scout leader back in the days in Sandy Point. Who else we have? We still have Miss Dolphin. Agnola Dolphin, she's still in the Scouts. She's actually the commissioner, as I said. And so many others who would have pushed Scouting. We had people like Sashio Stachio Williams. Yes, he used to be the scout leader at the St. Paul's Primary School. And so many others. I can't even remember everybody. Craig Zakers, the National Bank, he was a part of, he was a big scout back then as well. And you know, so many people really they were actually impacted by it.
Like I said, I think this is a worthwhile endeavor, and I think all of us should put our energies behind it, because we always say that the youth are our future, which rightfully so, but we shouldn't just do lip service. I think we need to put some tangible energy behind programs like these, where we see programs that are impacting our young people in a positive way, that we need to put our energies and support behind them.
One of the things, though, I want to mention too is to run an organization like this, it takes a lot. For me, it's not about money, but for little things like, so if you're out there listening to the radio and you might be saying, what can I contribute? You might be a past scout. What can I contribute to making sure that the club continue to grow? We need things like football, anything to do with games. You know, you could help us, you know, by maybe like a snake and ladder or something, you know, because that's the next thing again. A lot of our young people don't play those games.
Kind of games,
yeah, so we try to bring it back. I was talking to some scouts the other day about games that we used to play years ago. We used to play a game called Licks and Span. I don't know if you remember that.
Of course.
Okay. I don't know if Jiku that old. Jiku kind of grew up in Sandy Point. He should know. You had things like Zip Zap Zabine. That was a game.
We used to do that with the
Chiefy nuts.
Coffee.
Yes, and the people yes, Chief, yeah. You had some of the girls used to go up play Mississippi. You know, most of the boys
rounders.
Rounders, boys know about the marbles, yes. Some of them know. There was another one that I was telling them, not coming to mind now, but it's so many games that you know we want to go back to. The top.
Oh,
yeah, remember there was days.
From Guava
the other day I was in Scotland and I said, guys, you ever sat anybody spinning taps? And they're like, what name so? We don't know. And you know, I had to explain to them, you know, guys used to make their own taps and you know, depending on the kind of wood that you use, it determines how long your tap is going to. Yeah, and that was the thing. As soon as the bell ring on break time, everybody going to do the tap. We need to bring back these things and teach our young people. So that's one of the things that we're pushing right now in scouting. But if you're out there listening and you say, what can I do to help? Help us, you know, send us some balls, send us some other things.
Can you spin a tap?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I made tap from wood. I made tap from the wood. I told them that we used to make some from the Roland, the ball, the Roland bottle.
Anything.
You know what? You know these. We do.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, we do.
Even with the orange.
Yes. The lime. Yes.
Them young coconut with the top of the tree.
Man, yeah. When you sit down and you really start talking to them young people, it's like they're in space. They don't know a thing what you're talking about. And you know, we have to blame ourselves for that. True, because we didn't pass on these things, and that is why so many of our young people now they're so into their phones now. That's the only thing they know. You know, so we need to teach them more of that as well.
Definitely, I have to agree with that.
Yeah, and even the basic things like knotting. Yeah. You know how to tie a knot. Yes.
Line sheep shank.
Yes.
I still remember. I could do those.
Yes.
Those Ingram.
Yeah, of course. So, you know, when we teach these things, even in Cub Scout now, the boys and girls that'll be so excited, like, wow. So these are things that you all used to do. You have to do these things. Yes.
Every one of us had a piece of rope.
You had to bring that.
That was part of your kit.
You had to have that. So you had to have that. We did things like first aid and so. You see, GQ grew up in the boys brigade. It's a kind of similar program, isn't it, GQ?
Yes.
It's a similar program. So he didn't get a chance to come over in the scouts. And those days, you went boys brigade in Sandy Point.
Both Sandy Point and Bass.
And those days, like there was like a little rivalry between Scouts and Boys Brigade, which group, because the two of them was so good in Sandy Point that sometimes the boys split in the middle, they don't know which one to go to. Yes, but we have a lot of young fellows who went to Boys Brigade and Scouts back in the time.
Okay, so I'll give you the chance to do the wrap.
Well, I just want to especially, you know, set our parents out there We want to encourage you to encourage your children to be a part of scouting and Cub Scouts and Scouts. It's important. It's going to help to build them. I think that that's one of the reasons why, you know, I was able to be who I am today, because of the discipline, you know, over the years being a part of a club like this. I don't get the opportunity to go out a lot and keep a meeting, but from time to time I'll go and assist the boys, the gentlemen who are actually running the program. And when I go, it's always a pleasure to see our young people actively. I love to see them, especially when they're doing drills, you know, and I believe that this year is going to be a big year for us, an Independence Parade. We want to be able to bring at least 200 scouts to Independence Parade this year. I'm working hard on it. Once we get you with all the uniforms, it's going to be a display. It's going to be awesome. And so I want to encourage the parents to really help us push the club, whatever you can do, and even find out the day when your children are going, come down, sit down, help, you know, encourage the other leaders, and let's just build something that really matters in respect to our young people. So I'm looking forward to receiving that support from everyone listening the radio this morning.
Yeah, no, I want to support that call for parents to encourage their children to join the Scouts. True, I'm biased because I'm a Scout and I came to the program, but more so because I came to the program, that I can wholeheartedly throw my support behind it, knowing what it does and how I have benefit. It's only fair that if I benefited, that I encourage persons to benefit as well. You can only be down to the good of your child, and if it's good for your child, then it's good for the community, and it's good for the community, it's good for the country.
Oh, yes.
And in the end, that is what we want. We want to prepare those who will be our leaders and our caretakers. In the future, we want to prepare them now, and we want to instill in them the values that we think are important, so that we could have the kind of society that we want. And Scouting is one of those organizations that can add to that. With that said, I want to thank those who called, and I know some persons like me who might listen and not call in, but we thank you for your support. However, you give it, and we would welcome you to another edition of Policing with You when next we join, next week. And remember, send your children out to the Scouting. Quick, how can they reach out to somebody just in case they want to know the
Okay, my number
days?
is 662-4237. Again, 662-4237. You could send me a message and ask me if you have wherever your child is, and if you want to know exactly when they have Scouts in that school, I can give you that information.
All right, thank you. So we'll close on that note, and thank you again for joining.
Right.
See you again next edition.
Tell me what you think about Marcus. Tell me what you think about Christ. Made their sacrifice now. Tell me what you think about equal rights for all.
CNC Trading Limited industrial site is seeking drivers. You must be over 21, have a valid standard driver's license, and driving for at least 3 to 5 years. You must apply in person. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call us at 465-4081 or 665-9550.
At The Cable, we believe in giving back because when our community thrives, we all do. That's why, as a company, we make it our our mission to touch the lives of everyone in St. Kitts. We spearheaded the renovation of JNF Hospital lobby to ensure better care for all. The cable sponsors free Wi-Fi in every community center across St. Kitts, so no one is left behind in an increasingly connected world. We stand with communities through every moment, big or small, in culture, education, youth development, and more. Y a ti también, comunidad latina. Cuenta con nosotros. Estamos con ustedes. And when it comes to customer service, we set the standard. We're just a call, click, or visit away because you matter to us. Join the company that truly cares. The Cable, more than service. We're family. Somos familia. And we're proud to always give more where it matters.
ZIZ Radio, entertaining the nation, enjoyed by the world.
This song is dedicated to those three stooges who judged me last year. Thanks to them. Sing stupidness. Jump, 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 jump. Stupidness, 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 stupidness. Stupidness, 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 stupidness. Everybody want to know what are coming with this year. Stupidness, 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 stupidness. How could you sing stupidness 40, yeah. Stupidness, 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 stupidness. People want to hear songs of jump and wine. Stupidness, 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 stupidness. That's what it is so. Bend over, pick up the pro. Stupidness, 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 stupidness. Well, I stop singing serious song.